everyone. So, last time we talked, I was working on all this stuff, and I basically didn't know where to start or what went where. However, as you can see, I have figured it out for the most part. Last time I was just putting together this lattice, and I decided that I needed to, like, off camera, figure out how this all worked. So I kind of started the process, and I figured out how it worked, what went where, what needed to be put together, and how to make it a little different and change things that needed to be changed. So I did a lot off camera because most of it was very boring and tedious. So let me show you what I have done. This is the lattice work. I glued it to the base and the bottom. So we have the actual base of the jar all done. And then I glued this little stack of books. And I had to cut all the pages for the books out and glue them in. All these envelopes and roll all this stuff up and glue all this stuff here. So this is the base that everything else is going to be glued onto. I also made this desk and everything on it. So all the little books, all the little stacks of paper, even these finishes, were separate pieces. And then everything up here is all individual pieces. So like, we spin it, this bottle, this is a separate bead, this is a separate bead, the base is two separate beads. This fluff inside here under the dome is separate. All that's different. The tomatoes are all their own thing. I had to build the little pestle to go with the mortar. So basically, this stuff, each individual piece you have to build. And mine's a little different than the picture because I was getting really impatient with some of the like tiny wire things, or like the beads weren't perfectly cut to fit the wire. So I just said screw it and just did it, my own little way. I made the little cauldron. Now, when I there we go. Okay, so now the desk. How cool does that look? Like it's building this little teeny tiny world. I think it's always happened. Okay, so now it looks like there is one pot I haven't built yet that's gonna go up here. So I don't want to put too much around there. But I think this bowl, this cauldron, is gonna go next. So put some gold on the bottoms. The problem is this glue dries pretty quick. This one is gonna go like this. If you're somebody who has like, I don't have tweezers, but if you have tweezers, that would definitely be helpful, like the assembly portion of this stuff, because some of it's really tiny and like a tight fit. So yeah, it would be helpful for you to have something like some long needle nose. But now go here and start lots of flowers. And I think just because that's sunk in, I'm gonna add some more of this powder, or not powder puff. Yeah, powder puff. Kind of thing. It's just a little ball that you're supposed to cut up, but it doesn't like to cut. So I think I need some different scissors for that. But I think we'll just kind of fill that more. Let me show you. See, it kind of just looks empty. This is how it looks right now. We're working with all this kind of stuff here. I hate this stuff. There was supposed to be like a little bundle of like what looked like sage on the desk. I gave up on that. I skipped that step entirely because it was just not gonna happen. So let's see here. Okay. This is where I left off. So this, I guess, we're supposed to cut apart. I suppose. Yeah, looks like we're supposed to just cut everything off this base. So we'll do that. Supposed to leave. Oh, I think I see what it means. It wants me to cut. This makes no sense sometimes. Just one small part, short branch, long branch, and then glue them back together. So I guess cut all this apart so that they're separate branches. I skipped some of these steps like I did with the wisteria because it seems silly to me to do this, but it's fine. I think this big long one is going to be its own thing, kind of like this. Like, see, that looks the same as the picture to me. So, and it says plant one. So, okay, I guess it's plant one. Plant one goes somewhere. Oh, it goes right next to the desk. So, changed up the angle here so you guys can see a little better, and I can just show you what I'm doing. I did take quite a long break from building from the last time, that last little snippet you saw me film, but I did get the flowers done. So there's 3 of these guys. I have some little extra pieces. I decided to save myself the headache and not use every single solitary piece or do the exact thing of the directions. If I had gotten this like 3 years ago, I would have wanted to do every single solitary step and would not have put it down until it was perfect. But I'm trying to get away from that and just do it in a way that makes me happy. So that's what we're doing. So here's the little setup thus far. Okay, so the little desk, the desk I really did want to be like perfect though. So all the little books, all the little rolls, all the little pieces are there, all the little plants. It's glued together, it's stayed together. So now we're going to fill in this little potted plant with glue. So I'm literally just squeezing the glue and filling it. Again, it expects you to like put just a little dab of glue and then, you know, like place it with tweezers. I don't have tweezers, I don't have any of that. But now we're gonna put these little guys in here. So, sorry, I have to turn it to face me, but I made the little flowers that go on top. I added the fuzzies, I added, hold on, get the beauty hand going, the little petals. And I'm just gonna stick them down in the glue, because if the whole thing's full of glue, they'll stay up in theory. We'll just place the next one. There we go. Just kind of get it to focus here in the little pot. So those are there. So now we can put what goes on there, and that's this guy here. This is not focusing. Focus. Okay, well you can kind of see this little plant goes on this little stool down here. So I'm gonna put a whole bunch of glue on the bottom. So that it has a nice seal. And we're gonna stick him however he fits in here. He's supposed to go on the steps. So you can see his little face. Like that. Yay! So that's pretty much it for that section. Now it's just showing like all the different plants on the floor. I have these guys, which are these little strips that you glue the little petals to, kind of drying. So we're gonna do that, but I want to see, they're still drying. So let's just set this to the side for a second and finally get this lid together. So this part goes in there, and then we're just gonna put a whole bunch of glue down so that the light will stick to it. And again, I'm just gonna kind of put a whole bunch on there. This is hard because the wires don't lay flush unless you like hold it down. I'm trying not to get covered in glue. Next steps, so we're on to like steps where we're just setting it up. The next best step I think is just to finish off the lid probably. So there's a plant that goes in this little pot, and we have to glue that flower together. So first off, we're gonna put glue all around the pot, just like that. And we're gonna stick the flower on. Now there's kind of a hole for this to go down in, so I'm really gonna push it kind of down in there so the glue sinks in and it kind of gives it a little bit of volume like that. And then we have to make like a Venus flytrap with these two teeny tiny pieces. So I'm going to, again, this is not like a pretty way to do this. This is not a clean way to do this. This is just my way of doing this. So we're going to put it down, a dollop of glue, and then we're gonna stick the little fly trap teeth in here, kind of vertically almost, so that kind of stick them close together so it looks like, it's hard to see, looks like a Venus flytrap just tipped over on its side. No. Ah. See, this is the hard part. My hands get messy. And then nothing wants to stick. Can like rub off all the glue on my hands. Okay, so we'll let that dry a second. This is the hard part because you have all these like hurry up and wait kind of moments. So I get done with all this stuff. This is my little garbage bag. I'm trying to think if there's a way that I can set it up like that, just so it's kind of set like that. Okay, so now we want to start placing things in here. It's very exciting. Ooh. Okay, we're almost to the point where we can actually put it in the jar. So we need to put one of these blue guys back here first. So I'm gonna roll it up, which is probably easier said than done. We're gonna roll it like that, just rolled up a little bit. This kind of wrapping, and it's nice because the glue kind of helps, you know, hold its shape there. And you're supposed to put these little blue flowers in here. I don't think they're making it in there, not the way they want them to. So I'm just gonna put a dollop of glue right next to my little cauldron here. And we're gonna stick this guy down in there, just like that. Now you're supposed to put these little blue guys and all these little blue petals and little fluffy things in there. I think what I might do is just take this little blue flower that I cut out, stick some glue on it and stick it in there. Just like that. Perfect. We put in one of these pink ones. These are really fun to make. There's lots of layers and different stuff, and I didn't have to cut anything. So that's gonna go right in front of that. Like that there. so you can still see the blue and the pink. Now it wants some of these guys. We use these up top. We're gonna kind of stick them standing up on the sides of the cauldron, but I gotta get my little baby scissors to cut the stem. And I cut the stem this way. Again, not how it says to do it, not really caring. Glue on the base, and then just stick it in there, and then that just kind of leans against the little cauldron. We're just adding some volume and some greeneries. Now it wants a little blue bushel. So again, some glue, stick it down, kind of poking it out from under the pink. So it all just looks like this blooming greenhouse. Okay, and then it wants another blue bushel on the other side of that. So I'm gonna put a smaller one. Just gonna cut some off. And again, just glue to the base. And kind of smush it in there. Ta-da! So pretty. Just make sure everything stands up. Now we're gonna put another pink flower down in front here. Actually, both of them are gonna go kind of in the front. So I'm just gonna put both spots. This is what it looks like from above, just so you guys can see. It's kind of different. And then when you look at it this way, now you can see everything. Kind of make up for my, you know, different things I didn't do. I'm gonna put a couple of these little flowers that I cut out of the paper kind of down in front here. These little burgundy. So we are like really in the home stretch now that I've got all that done. I'm not sure what to do with these two other little wraps because it doesn't say, like it just shows one. So I guess maybe I was supposed to use them all in one thing, but that's not what it said. So I don't know, we'll find a home for them, right? I think I'm actually gonna add one to this side piece here, only because it's kind of a dead space, and I think there should be little petals there. Okay, I just have to make sure it's in far enough to slide it in the jar, because we still have to put it in the jar. That's about dried there, so this little lid can sit up. And oh, we're done with that too. Okay, so another one of these little blue guys is gonna go over here, almost like it's coming from under the little deck. Oh, kind of sticking out there. And then we're gonna add one of these little pink flowers by the step. I think that was supposed to be out a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm gonna add these blue flowers that I punched out to the bottom. And I think that does it. I think we're done. So a couple little pieces left over, but overall, this is what it looks like. Now I have to move it's time for the most satisfying part, the jar. Voila. There it is, in all of its amazing glory. Now we have to put the top on. I think for the top, we have to glue these two pieces together. So, we will do that. By just, you know what, I'm just gonna put glue this whole way around. Okay, because the circle has to line up with that. There has to be room for this to slide because the switch is on there. So we have to make sure we get it nice and centered. The lid won't lay right. It's very messy, so hold on. Let me get a paper towel. Got this cleaned off. Lid goes on there. And then we just pop these little guys on there. And that's how the lid sits. And this slides back and forth to turn the battery on and off, but I don't have a battery right now, but that will light up the inside eventually. And there it is. There's my little magical world in a jar. I might paint the lid eventually, but for right now, I think this is kind of perfect. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. One of my friends sent me that Michael's has these now, so I may have to pick up a couple more and see, you know, her and I can put one together. Well, I'm gonna spin this way. There we go. That looks more balanced. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the little minis, and I will see you in the next one.